What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. If you just saw the last video, I am making this video after the conclusion of that video. So I made it out here this afternoon, back out on Guntersville. Got the next yak and grass tournament coming up in a couple, let's see, about 3 weeks from now. And I need another good finish, but I would also like to try to get up there in that top 3. And so I'm trying out a couple of different things today. It has been raining all day long. Water is moving. They are pulling water. The water is up. Water is just pouring into the lake right now. I've got a couple things I'm going to try. I've got me a flapping frog, so I'm going to do some of that here in a little bit. I'm going to go over to point just over that way. Right now I'm going to go over here and hit a dock or two and see if maybe I can't pick up one. I am doing the monster bass 5-fish tournament this week, this month. So I'd like a good showing out of that too. You know, it didn't cost anything to enter, but it's a neat little tournament. It's a 5-fish, 12-inch minimum. Yeah. But hopefully we can get a few. I'd like to keep the non-skunk up. I'm doing pretty good. I've 4 top 10s in my last 4 tournaments, so I'm pretty happy about that. Considering I skunked the first 2 tournaments this year, it's pretty good to go to that difference. I'm gonna be throwing chatterbait. I'm going to be throwing a big TRD around the docks here in a minute, and then I'm going to be throwing this flapping frog here in a little bit. So we're going to see what we can get into. Let's get out on the water and get to it. All right, we've made a definite change here. I took out got everything kind of packed back up and came back over to my creek because it rained. As you can see, it is nasty in here. It's dirty, but the fish are here. The fish are most definitely here. I just lost a 15 or a 16 off the board. Couldn't get a picture of it fast enough. It was a largemouth. So the fish are up in here. There's a little bit of current easing through here as well. They are pulling the water. It's really rained a lot the last 4 or 5 days. So I decided to make a change, and we're gonna see. It's already paid off. I've caught 2 fish already. Let me make 1. I usually don't. This is not an area I typically fish very heavy, but I stopped. I saw a school of shad coming up the creek, so I decided I'd stop, and both fish have come off this chatterbait, so that's what I decided I'd stop. I want y'all to look how pretty that is right up there. That big rock is typically as far as I ever go. But with this much water, I should be able to drag over some shoals right up here. If not, I'll fish back down. But you can see all the eddies and stuff. There is a lot of water coming down through here. Nice little turtle right there, Mr. Turtle. I don't know, folks, if I can get around all this or not. Whoa, that's a good fish in there though. I ain't gonna go up past that just yet. I don't know if y'all can see that on the camera or not. There was a good fish come out of the water. I'm gonna ease right over here. See if I can't get butted up to these rocks a little bit. See if I can't put a few casts into that pool back there. That was a good fish that came up right in there, right in the middle of that current. right there. I mean, that is a good one, folks. That is a really good one. It's a big largemouth, I think. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good fish. He hammered that chatterbait. Oh yeah. He hammered it. Easy now. You got to come on the board. Oh, yes sir. That was an amazing sequence right there. I threw that bait. I got up here and I saw that fish. Look at that fish. That is a good one, folks. A beautiful fish. Up in there chasing shad in that real fast current. Look at that. Look at that fish. That's a good one. We got to get a picture of her. Water's 70 degrees up in here. Whoo-wee, where were you last Saturday when I needed you? Didn't throw a chatterbait last Saturday. I threw that big TRD almost all day long. It's gonna be a good one right here, folks. It's gonna be up there 19 and a half. That's the kind you want. I ain't gonna be no funny business here. That's a good fish. Come here. That is a beautiful, beautiful fish. About a 4-pound fish. We're gonna let her go. Yes, ma'am. We're gonna go back up in there and try that again. Whew. That was a good one. That was a good fish. That was worth the paddle. I paddled about a mile. It's about a mile to paddle back up in here. But that was worth the paddle right there. That was indeed. Got my heart a-pounding over here. Right, that's what I wanted right there anyway. I'm up in here. The rocks will hold me in place maybe. But I saw that fish come out of the water up there. Oh, there was another. There's another one. There's another one, and it's another good one. Yes, 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 that's another good one. I'm gonna put you right back here because you ain't doing nothing the rest of the day. This is gonna be the bait of choice the rest of this day. Oh, it's another good one. He ain't as good as that last one. He just barely is hooked. Just barely is hooked. Let's see if we can't flip him. Oh, he ain't no stud. I mean, that fish is just barely is hooked. I'm surprised didn't. He felt a lot better in that current. Yes, sir. That's another pretty fish. We're gonna get a picture of him for the tournament. Whew. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He hammered it too. They are up in here feeding on shad and all manner of other things that's coming through this fast current right here. Oh my goodness. What a fish. What a fish on that Hurricane. This is gonna be a smaller guy. It's gonna be 14 and a, 14 and a half. Still. Come here, Buster. Oh my goodness. They are gonna be all up and down through here, I bet you. Look at that fish. Beautiful, beautiful fish. Get on out of here. This is the golden shiner. It kind of has the same, it's kind of the same look. It's a little, it has a gold blade as opposed to just a regular silver blade. Man, oh man, that's rough right there, folks. That's rough. There's another fish. That's another good fish too. They are stacked up in here. Oh, and he come off. He just barely was hooked. Man, ripped my diesel, my trailer all to pieces. That's a good fish there. Laser shed back on. I'm glad to see that they will hit this golden though. I'd have been very distraught. I might have been swimming after a chatterbait. If I could see it, I'd do it anyway. Just because I hate losing jackhammer. This thing's being contrarian. I'm all kinds of jumpy here. In a hurry. When you're in a hurry, stuff like this tends to happen. It's like I was in a hurry to get that chatterbait loose and it cost me a chatterbait. There was, I don't know if that's a fish or not. It's hard to tell. Yeah, I'd say it was. There is a ton of them. I'm really surprised I ain't picked up a spot. I'm really surprised I hadn't picked up a spot in this. There's a little ledge right there that I'm coming across. Good Lord. They're just beating the crap out of it. They just can't get they ain't getting the hook. Bait's a little bigger, like I said. It's the 1/2 ounce as opposed to the 3/8, so it's a little bigger. And I'm on this side. I don't know if that's having anything to do with it. That is the first cast that there's not been a fish. Right there. To get up there. I'm sitting here looking at it. I really don't think I can. There's another fish. They may have cycled back a little bit. It's not a stud, but he'll measure. There's another fish. He was way up in there. We're gonna try to keep him up out of the stuff. Oh, come here. Come here. Another decent fish. He was way up in there. He was all the way up in toward that little tree. So he ain't no stud, but again, he'll measure. Being that probably that 14, 15. 15-inch range. Pretty good little fish. Kind of a, he's been caught before. He's got a little messed up jaw there. Just let him go. But he was way, way up in there. In that. If I really wanted to be daring, I would get out and walk. But I don't feel like being that daring. Just to be brutally honest with you. There's another fish. And I'm gonna let him run down. Oh, that was weird feeling. That felt very strange. This will also allow me to be up and keep that bait off the bottom so much. Because that bait's just beating the crap out of the bottom. That's one of the reasons why I lost that first chatterbait. There's a fish right there. It's probably, feels like a good, decent one. It's a pretty good one. Ain't no monster. I need you to come around the boat. Oh, it's a pretty good fish. Just barely is hooked too. Get a hold of him here. Yes, ma'am. Not a bad one. Not a stud, but not a bad one. See if we can't get a picture of him. One of the perks of being out of the boat is I don't have to worry about him flopping out of the... He'll count. There are a ton of these fish up in here though. I mean, an absolute ton of them. So we're gonna keep, don't you do it now. We're gonna keep staying right here. About a 16. Again, not a monster. But, nope. A pretty fish. Pretty 2-pound fish. Let's let him go right here beside us. There's a fish. Oh my gosh, this is a good one, folks. This is a good one. I mean, this is a really good one. This is gonna be a 20-pluser. I mean, he just hit it like a freight train. Oh, come here. Oh, oh yeah, that's gonna be a good 19, 20-inch fish. We're just gonna let him wear himself out. He hit that thing like a freight train. He's trying his best to get... Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about now. He was hooked good too. He hooked on the, through the inside and then on the outside both. Lord have mercy. He is... Oh, this is a good one. Oh my goodness gracious. He's a tank. Oh my gosh. Oh, y'all look at that fish. Now we talking. That's what we need. Don't get days like this very often. I'm gonna use it for I'm gonna get every last bite I can out of this if it's pitch black when I come out of here. Oh man, he hit it way over here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This dude is a stud. He, well, actually not as long as he looked. He only 18 and a half, but he thinks he's gonna get away. He's trying his best to get away. Buster, I'm gonna turn you loose. She's too pretty to keep. Goodness gracious. Wanted to give you one more look at him. Ugh. Oh my goodness. Take a look at that tank. This is I'm gonna tell you, this is an absolute blast, folks. I haven't had a day like this. I did not think it would be this way. To be honest, I really did not think I would get up in here, and I was fairly confident I could catch some spots, but I never dreamed I would catch this many largemouth, this many quality largemouth. And there's another fish just on cue. And it's another quality fish. I think that may be a spot. I believe it is. That's gonna be my first spotted bass of the day. Come here, Buster. He's a pretty guy too. He ain't a stud. He ain't a stud, but that's the first spotted bass. Now, like I said, that's all I caught. Last weekend, spotted bass. There's a fish, and it undoubtedly is a pretty good one. It's a pretty good one. Another largie. I ain't caught the first spotted bass, which I'm very much surprised. Oh my jaw. Another large jaw. I'm really surprised I have not caught spotted bass up in here. I mean, all I caught last weekend was one spotted bass after another. So I am very much perplexed. There's a fish. I'm not real sure how big. Ain't even seen the fish yet. He ain't real big. It's another. No, it's not. It's a largemouth. This ain't no very big. Oh, it's a little spot. Little spot. Pouring rain. I'm getting eaten up by bugs. Oh shoot. Up there. Yeah. There's a good fish. Oh my gosh, what is this? What is this? This is not a bass, I do not believe. I think this may be a catfish. If it's a bass, it is a flipping stud. Or it's a big old striper. Oh, it's a big old cat. It's a cat. Cat on the jackhammer. Me without my pliers. I don't think my pliers are Man. Shoot a monkey. This should be interesting. All right. He hammered it too. Slimy. Slimy, slimy, slimy. How's that, folks? But there's almost always a couple hanging right in here. There's one. That feels like a pretty good fish. It's because it is. It's a pretty good fish. Oh, easy now. That's a really good fish. Is that a spot? No, it's a largemouth. He's hooked good. Try to kick the boat around. He's definitely another measuring fish. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I said this little area right here almost always, I'll quit that. Almost always produces a fish. Now, I must admit, this has been, that is above and beyond right there what I usually catch. Usually it'll be a dink, or, 12, 15 inch, maybe a 15-inch fish. That's another 16 or so. Maybe a little more than that. More than that, that's a 17. He definitely needs to have his beauty struck. All right. Kick out the way from this before I get snake bit. What the heck? Oh, I just saw that little bitty one. He's going under the boat. He thinks he's some sort of, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good fish. I think he'll get pictured, provided I can get him up here. That's a pretty good fish. He wasn't going nowhere. He is hooked good. I won a rod holder, or a paddle holder at the last tournament. I don't know what. Somebody think I put it on here. Reach up in here and grab my phone. Don't really have a dry spot on me to wipe my screen off with. You'll measure. I'm fixing to call it in, I think. Cruel. What an afternoon. I cannot beat that. Getting eat alive again. But a great afternoon, great afternoon. Got soaking wet. I'm drenched from one end to the other. Ain't got a dry thread, but can't beat that. I mean, that was amazing. That was amazing. So anyway, we're gonna pack up, call it an afternoon. Whew. Get ready for work tomorrow. I'm gonna give slap out now. But it was a great afternoon. Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already done so. I've been trying to put out a lot of content. I know I haven't been done a real good job, but I'm doing my best to try to put out a lot of content. But we'll try to do that again probably the next big rain, go back up in there and see what's happening. But we're gonna call it an afternoon. I hope to see you next time. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time on the water.